Welcome back to the One Line Away podcast. I'm one of your co-hosts, Tyler Weber.
And this is Cassie Weber. And in today's episode, we are going to be talking about the storm of infertility. Infertility often feels like being caught in a storm. Some days are calmer, some days the wind picks up, and then sometimes you just feel like the storm will never end. I think as far as a check-in that comes to mind with the whole conversation that's going to be brought onto this episode, I want to bring in like a check-in for both of us, and that being a word that's describing how we feel about our journey right now, or as of lately. Do you want to go first?
Just one word?
Mm-hmm.
It's a great question. I would say saddened. I think lately I've just been I've been depressed or mad or, I've just been more sad when you see someone else is pregnant, or sad that we haven't had ours yet, or I think there isn't a lot of emotions. Like you said, we've been very busy over the last couple months that I haven't really had a time to be able to sit there and just think about it. But if I were to try to sum it all up, it would be just, I'm just sad that we still don't. I'm very grateful and very blessed that we are busy and that we are, our lives are going in a different path than, 2 years ago what we thought it was going to be. But I think I'm still just sad that we haven't had that yet.
Yeah. My word.
Yeah, what's your word?
I think my word is disconnected. I feel like I have become so lost in our direction of our journey, not with the podcast or giving up our fight, none of that. I just feel disconnected with our direction. Mm-hmm. And there's been things that even I haven't yet been able to talk to you about because there's been so much going on, but there's been some really interesting things that have stirred up into my heart, and it's I'm scared to even say them out loud or meet with myself with the reality that I'm feeling or being directed towards. And I'm just not sure if it's something I need to listen to or something I need to actively put efforts towards. I don't know. There's just been this disconnection of our journey and why we're still sitting here, and what's the right next step. I haven't really felt angry. I don't feel like anger has been really happening. It's just, I just feel sorry for us. So
same. Yeah, there's really hasn't been anger in anything that I've thought about during this time, but it's just the brief moments that I do get, it's just like you said, I feel disconnected. I feel when I think about it, right, when I think about it, I feel oh gosh, there's this side of life that, we haven't put a lot, like you said, we haven't put a lot of thought into. We really haven't. We've been doing the podcast twice a month, but other than that, we really haven't talked about how we're going to go about it. We've had many conversations, but
we've been focused on so many other things. We haven't really been focusing on us.
Yeah,
which is good until a point.
There's been conversations that we've had, but they've been about the only future conversation that we've had is our 10-year coming up.
We're going to kind of shift into looking inside or being inside this infertility storm, and we'll let Tyler take the reins on getting this part of the conversation started.
What part of our infertility journey has felt the heaviest on your heart?
As we've been in this 4-year walk, I definitely have felt a shift in my outlook from being so hopeful to being more realistic about just the reality that we're in, and it's almost the sacrifices that we're going to have to face. And I think that's what's been heaviest is that the conversations to come, that the decisions to come just feel like they're going to be even harder and even more to put on the line. And so I would say as of like lately, I just feel very, I felt this, I have felt this huge shift in where our journey needs to go, or where, like, what that looks like. And it's just heartbreaking and also very inviting as well. Like, there's just a lot that has come to fruition, and I just can't believe I've come to this point in our journey where I am met with even more hard conversations and decisions and thoughts ahead. So I think that that's what's hard, is as we get older and as things press forward, the more I feel like our odds are against us.
This is kind of like just to roll off that, this is kind of like a question for newer couples that are in this journey, that you say there's a lot of hard conversations. Is there ever a right time or place to have those conversations? Right, because we talked about it. We've been together for 13 years coming up. Yeah. And sometimes those conversations are hard.
Yeah.
Right? Is there ever a time where you're just like, it has to be this kind of moment to have that conversation? Or is it just one of those until you get the courage, you're just like, all right, we're doing this right now?
I would say for me, how I would look at that, I definitely know when conversations should not happen.
How does that weight show up in your daily life or mindset?
I feel like it's just been really hard to turn it off. And not that I've ever been able to turn it off. I feel like right now it just feels like it's getting like louder and louder and louder. And I'm just like trying to like hide from it, or like put my earplugs in for the now. And like, it's just getting worse. Like, that's what's been so difficult, is like drowning out the noise, because the noise feels very loud. How would you say you experience the infertility storm as a husband differently from me?
So just going off of your questions, I feel like I'm not the one that has brought up stuff as often, right? I agree. I feel like I'm the one that's getting asked the questions versus, hey, I think we need to do this step next. I think we need to do this step next. And I honestly don't know why that is, to be fair.
I don't either. And I think that's a very good thing to bring up.
Yeah.
Because it has been, like, I don't think that negates that you don't want the same things. It shows a lot about our relationship. And I think that that's a good and a bad thing, because we learn a lot. We've learned a lot about each other in this whole journey. What is one thing you wish I understood more about how you carry it?
The big frustration for me was you not realizing where I was mentally with it. But I think now we're
pretty in tune
with that, like, for sure. I think we went through that trial and tribulation. Is it tribulation?
Yeah, tribulation.
I think we went through that already and found out like each other's breaking points. And you know, it's like, especially now, because I'm so busy with so many different things. Like, I got a lot of different hats on right now. So
yeah, like,
thank you for earlier not, saying like, yes, I know when to ask questions, and like, and it is because like I'm just doing so many different things right now that when I come home and if I'm at home for a couple hours and you just ask me a question that I know is going to take a couple hours to hash out.
Or at 10 p.m. I got better with that.
Oh man.
I would in the past like 6 months, like I would say like 6 months ago, I started this bad habit of like wanting to have like big conversations at bedtime, and that did not go well.
And 10 p.m. was an hour past bedtime.
Yeah.
Like, I'm in bed usually by I'm in bed or en route to bed around 9.
He just doesn't do well. Like, you just don't do well with things, which I guess I wouldn't either. So I don't know. It's just, again, like, you just learn so much in this storm of infertility. Like you do learn, and like you learn from your mistakes without even, ever intentionally causing, harm to your better half. I don't want to glaze over this part because this has been just mental health alone, but also for me in my journey, this has been something that has greatly affected me as a human with infertility and the storm of infertility. And I think there is a large conversation to be had. And we've had previous episodes where we have discussed this, but I just don't think it's a conversation you ever stop having.
Have there been moments where the storm felt like too much to carry?
Yes. Big yes. This journey found darkness in me, or darkness came onto me because of what we've been through in this for 4+ years. And there have been specific periods or moments in our journey that I have just laid myself completely bare and felt like not even a pebble could be pressed towards me without me falling under. And I think that that's something that infertility and just mental health is taking more seriously now. A lot of our journey has been us being beat down to nothing. We've just not had a lot of bounces back in the journey itself. And so I have felt like until kind of now, when we just really had to kind of save ourselves in a way, I do feel like when I think or reflect back on that period of time, I don't know how else I would have dealt with it, because our story and our journey just was so abrupt and continued to slash at us time after time, pregnancy after pregnancy, treatment after treatment. Just everything went so wrong always. And so I don't know, you'll never have an answer as to why these things happen. But I definitely, the weight of infertility is something not to be taken lightly, and people just do not understand and need to understand how serious mental health and infertility coexist, because I have never felt more not myself in a journey like this.
So going off that, what helps you keep going in those moments?
This is like the hard part that I knew I'd get emotional about. It's like the bravery that I've carried even when I've felt so weak. But it's like being brave enough to wave your white flag, to drop the veil, to cry for help, to accept help, to not, there's so much shame that can follow you when you do drop your veil. At the end of the day, like, that's why we're doing this. That's why we've talked about this. That's why we've brought this to public speaking, is being brave enough for the ones in their journey that just aren't or aren't ready to yet. And that's what keeps me going, is like this right here isn't just a period of time in our life. It is a huge reason of why I'm so lucky to still be standing here and talking about it, but also just having a big enough heart to put mine down, to lay mine down and cut it all open and make something of it. Why do you think it's so hard for people to admit when they're struggling with infertility?
You mentioned the word shame. This is like a two-part answer for me. I think people have shame that they feel like people are going to be like, whoa, what's wrong with you? Why can't you? Right? And then also, I think half of that goes on to the people that they're telling that have never been through it. Right? So there's the shame of them being, I can't get this to work. Right? Something's not... Judgment there. And then it's the people that they're telling, like, hey, we can't get pregnant. And it's the people that are listening that don't quite understand what that means.
Yeah. Or like,
they don't know what people go through, like what couples go through that have been going through it for as long as people have. And they don't understand like what it does to you individually, what it does to you with your family, what it does to you between you and your spouse, what it does like just in general.
Yeah.
They think like it's, oh, dude, you're just having sex, like get over it. It'll happen. Not the case, right? People always are quick to judge, but never to listen.
Yeah.
And I think that's why we didn't share. We didn't want to say anything because it's the same concept, right? We were like...
Well, it's just like for me too, it's like letting people down when we did decide to be open about certain parts of our journey. It's like also like failing yourself, and then you're adding a whole nother element of failing the people around you. Mm-hmm. Like we were, on our beliefs, you are totally able to have your own, but in our belief and morals is like we were made to do this, and our bodies were like we are intended to be able to create. And when you don't get to see that through, and like in the things that we've dealt with, it's like why our body, like we were made for this, and why can't we see that through?
Yeah.
It's just terrible.
It is. It really is.
What would you want to say to someone who is tuning into this episode who is overwhelmed right now in their journey?
Honestly, the only answer that would have worked for me was talk to someone. Because, I mean, you could sit there and try to say, get your mind off of it or do something else that you normally like to do, but that didn't work. I had tried it.
Well, and I think you just have to really be careful with who you do drop your veil with, and you will know who those people are. Yeah. It could be blood and it could not be blood, and that's like it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
I mean, it's so hard. Like when you're overwhelmed, there's days where I feel overwhelmed. Still.
I mean, we're very overwhelmed with our journey right now.
And I would say like, and I couldn't even say this with full confidence that if we went through another IVF transfer and it didn't work, I don't know. I can't tell you with full confidence that I would be able to pop myself out of it like I am now in this moment.
I agree. I think that's why we haven't pressed go.
I think like it's a real thing. I think, right? Because then like just realizations sit in and you sit there and you're like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Like, what is our future? What are the next steps? What else can we do? How much more can we take?
Yeah.
Before I just run through that window. It's
kind of a hard, like there's just, the reason why this podcast is so important to be within this whole community is like, we just don't always have all the answers, but that's like why we're doing this, is so that we can meet with you, like right where you are with you together.
Yeah.
And be the person you get to talk to if no one else in your life meets that safety.
Or be the person that you just listen to.
Yeah.
To know that you aren't alone, because that is a big thing. And I know we stress it a lot on here, but you feel like you're alone through it. Mm-hmm. Regardless of if you've taken the same steps as we have or you've gone down the same train tracks. But when we say like we're walking with you, it's like what I just said about if we went through another IVF transfer and it didn't work, like where we would be at mentally, like that is real. Like
very real.
That is to the point where it's like kind of gets a little scary thinking about, because you're like, what would happen? right? You have all these good things going in your life, and you have, all these new adventures that we're on, and it's like, what if we decided to do an IVF transfer right now? And what if it didn't work? Like,
I think that's why, like, the reality of the storm, like the storm of infertility, it's like, I don't think I can handle a tsunami right now, mentally.
And that ain't no tsunami, dude. That's like,
but I think the scariest part too is like, I think Tyler and I are both in an equal position where we don't think we'll ever be ready for another tsunami, because you just can't. No one can prepare for failure and know how they'll come out on the other side.
No.
And we know what that looks like, and it's so much, like, it's so scary because we know what that looks like.
But that's the best part is if there was a best part of any of it, the best part is we do know what it looks like.
Yeah.
We do know what the failure part looks like.
Feels like.
And feels like. And I would say, versus our last time where we went into that spiral.
Yeah.
Our head space was in a lot worse place.
True.
I'm not saying we're going to be fantastic. We're going to be smiling. We're going to be posting stuff. And like, these podcasts aren't going to be like
rough.
But I feel like we know what that feels like to have that spiral and to be on the bottom. And I feel like if we were back, we would be able to look at each other and be like, we're back.
Yeah.
And this shit sucks.
What do we do?
Yeah. I think we would be able to do that.
I mean, that's definitely
now, if we
good.
now the timing on if we could bounce back within a week or 2 weeks or a month, that's up in the air. Yeah. We're not going to talk about that one. Because I don't even know if we have enough batteries in our little thing to be able to talk about that one.
And I think, too, what's hard is, like, the reality that we're in is we have not fully recovered in, like, we'll never recover emotionally and mentally, but, like, the logistics, the other weight, the financial, the social, all of that, like, that part is, like, we haven't been able to recover in the ways that feel like it wouldn't be even harder to, like, bounce back from. Like, I think that we just haven't had enough of a bounce. And I don't know why that there's, like, a dollar amount or a time frame. I don't know what that is, but I know that there's, like, a weird sit with that. Like, something sits weird with me with that. Mm-hmm. And I think that that's what's scary is, like, no, we don't have the same resources that we did back when we were able to make these decisions easier. These just feel harder now. Like, they just all feel harder, scarier. And I don't know how we move forward, which is why we're sitting where we're sitting right now. I don't want to end this episode off of that. So I wanted to find a way to, like, shift into finding shelter and finding light in this specific point in this journey and in the storm that we're in. So, the biggest thing that we can take from all of this is our resilience. And if you're tuning into this episode, your resilience that you're still here like we are, no matter where you are in your journey, whether it's fresh or whether it's really, really, really deep rooted and long and difficult. But I guess what I would have to say and, like, turn to you is what feels like an umbrella to you in this storm that at least temporarily blocks you or shelters you, like, in the storm that we're in. Yeah.
Like, what do I do that's like an umbrella?
Yeah. Yeah. Like, if you visualized being in the infertility storm and being able to take that umbrella and just temporarily, like, cover you, what does that look like in your life right now?
I mean, as we've said, I'm stayed busy to the point where I don't even have, like, time to think, unless I do see, like, a post or something on the socials. But I mean, like, coaching is just a big one. I think that is just a newfound passion over the last couple of years that I have just been full bore into. What small light or moment of relief have you found even in the middle of infertility?
I would say for me, I definitely... I do have to protect myself from being so all-consuming in what the reality of our journey is. And I find that very relieving to just like temporarily like put that little blinder, we'll call the umbrella blinder for the topic's sake. But I do find relief in just like being invested in my new business and pouring my heart into people that have been pouring their heart into me. And I also find so much just joy in getting to mother or be present around other people's kids. And those kids are Tyler's hockey boys. And it's crazy to think that very few probably know why I'm so present. Like, I'm a very present coach's wife. I attend practices. I'm at all the games. But it's where I feel the most joy right now, aside from what I just talked about with my business. But I find this true like meaning and purpose with getting to see this through with Tyler equally. So I would say that's where I'm finding the most. Before we end today's episode, I want you and I to both choose a word that we want to carry with us in the coming 2 weeks. I mean, if you can continue to carry it through the whole journey, it's great, but we just know that it's not that easy. It's not that simple. So we gave a word earlier in the episode that had a different feel to it, but I think that it's nice to take intention towards this part too, the good side of it.
I already have my word.
Okay.
It's been a word that I've been trying to keep present in my daily life, which is positivity. I think just being positive when you're trying to be positive through the storm of this, or like waking up early, or just normal work day, or the kids aren't listening at practice. Consistent. But it's one of those words that I just try. Like, there's been a lot of things in this world that have been negative, and just trying to be positive, just trying to be like a little light, I feel like goes a long way for not only myself, but maybe even a little circle around me, which I think is big, because I think that can go a lot of places if you're trying to be positive in a world that's filled with such negativity and such darkness, that if that one person sees that and then they try to do it, and it's just that ripple effect. And I think that could go a long way.
Yeah, I like that. The word that came to my mind that, like, I was like, I don't know if that's a good word, but no other word feels right. My word is open. Whether that's being open to different directions in our journey, or just being open to different thoughts, different ideas, different things that I haven't maybe allowed myself to feel again or seek again, whatever that is. I just want to keep this door open.
I like it.
I like it too. This whole topic of the storm of infertility is something that we'll be carrying into other things that we've poured attention and heart and time into. And I feel like at the end of the day, we have to believe that the storm will pass. This storm that we've been in has been the longest storm, I swear, of life. But I have to believe that whether it's a rainbow or whether it's just a day of sunshine, whatever that is, like, no matter what, like, I want our umbrella, even during it, to not just be I want it to be an umbrella big enough to hold and carry over the people that are walking this journey with us, or the people that really need it, even with no words. So
yeah, I think we have to try to remember, like you said about the rainbow.
Yeah.
Like, after every storm, there always is.
Yeah. I agree.
Sometimes it's hard to believe that, but we have to, whether it is, in the end, if it is a biological miracle or a biological rainbow versus the other options that there are.
Yeah.
I think you have to, and me personally, have to just understand that a rainbow is a rainbow.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. Okay, I think it's time for us to sign off. I hope that this episode finds the right people, just like all the other ones. I think I needed this conversation just as much as the people probably listening to it. So we appreciate you guys, and we appreciate your patience with us too, because I do feel like it just is a very in your face podcast to be doing, and I just want everyone to always know that we are always leading with our heart. And there's so much that we do want to continue to pour into this and pour into you guys. So thank you for being here, as you guys have been and continue to be.
Thanks for listening. We'll see you guys on the next one.
Bye, guys.